Hi, this is Nadira with Fresh Fire. Thank you for joining us for another Wisdom Wednesday Nugget. Continuing on with the theme of friendship, I will be talking about when a friendship ends, the death of a friendship. Pastor Janice touched on this lightly last week, and I felt led to go a little bit more into it this week. So, Ecclesiastes 3 talks about how there's a time for everything. But specifically in verses 6 and 7, I will read to you. It says, it's a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend. So, throughout life, we build friendships, we build relationships with people, and those friendships and relationships don't always stay through with us, through every part of our lives. Sometimes there comes a natural end to a friendship. Sometimes something happens that's not good and a friendship ends. Sometimes our friendship can actually become toxic, and the Lord definitely wouldn't want us to continue on in a situation like this. So, it's part of the life cycle, making friends, losing friends. Of course, we have those, the core set of friends that stay through us, our close circle, who usually throughout our whole lifetime, we have them there, and we love each other and support each other. But sometimes a friendship can come to an end, and it's not always a bad thing. It can be hurtful, but it's not always bad. Sometimes people are meant to come into our lives when we're at a certain level, maybe to support us and encourage us at that level. But then when we get on to the next level, we advance. Sometimes those people are not meant to go with us. And that's not always bad. And sometimes there are people who, even though we have friendships with them, they annoy the heck of us out of us. And, that encourages us to practice patience and love and so that we can get to that next level of what God has for us, where we will need to be patient and loving. I think of Jesus and Mary and Martha, who were so close. And after Jesus resurrected, Mary and Martha had to process the fact that Jesus wasn't physically on this earth with them to fellowship with anymore. But that needed to happen. Jesus had a plan. He had a purpose for coming to the earth. We needed his resurrection for for us, so that we can have everlasting life with the Father. And his close friendships with Mary and Martha could not stop that. They weren't, it was good that they had that friendship, but he needed to do what he needed to do for us. And thank God for that. And so I think of that sometimes when I think of, a friendship ending. Sometimes it can be due to a death. But what was the purpose that Jesus came here? What was his reason? Why was he here? It wasn't just to hang out with Mary and Martha, bless them, And so, it can be hurtful when a friendship ends, but another key thing is do not let that affect how you view yourself. Friendships don't always end because something is wrong with you. As we've already discussed, sometimes it could be that, they were there for a time period. They were meant to be there for that period of your life, but not for when you were at, going on to the next level. Maybe not for the next period of your life. And you can't let that make you think that something is wrong with you. It's not always because something is wrong with you. It can be sometimes, but that's not always the case. And it's important to remember that if a friendship does end, it should be gracefully. We are Christians. We are representatives of Christ. We shouldn't go around gossiping about that person, talking badly about that person, spilling all the details if they did anything wrong to us. We should do everything in decency and in order, as said in 1 Corinthians 14:40. So I think I've spoken enough. This was meant to be just a little nugget, but I want to encourage you, if you are at a point where you had a friendship end and you may be a little down, just remember that God said he will never leave us nor forsake us. I encourage you to go and sit at the Father's feet and process that thing and work through it. Sometimes friends come back into our lives. But, see what his will is. Was his will for you to even be friends with that person? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But either way, he is there for us. And we need to remember that this is just a part of the life cycle. So I pray that you are blessed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Know that we love you and we are praying for you at Fresh Fire. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.